Alright, and welcome back to Retrospect My Fantasy. I want to thank you for your patience while I get this set up. Now that we finished Final Fantasy VII, let's move on to Final Fantasy VIII. Still under the Squaresoft logo. That's good. It's a good start. Still kind of the Casio music from Nobuo Uematsu. Yep, that's fine. New game. Is that game coming through just fine for you guys? Yeah, it is. Good. Oh boy. So, in Final Fantasy VII, you may recall, just a few moments ago, sorry, I'll be here. Why? Be waiting. I'll be waiting here. I'll be waiting here. For what? I'll be waiting for you, so if you come here, you'll find me. I promise. Ah. I remember everyone at the time thinking that gunblades were the coolest shit on the planet. Me included. A few short years later, most of us thought that gunblades were dumb as fuck. Little did most of us know that in the early days of firearms, when they were unreliable and only really usable in combat once, twice if you were lucky, that gun weapons of various sorts, usually like maces and various versions of clubs, were what got it, not usually swords, although there are definitely a few instances of sword guns existing, but they didn't have pistol grips. That makes it very difficult to actually use. Although I do like the fact that this guy in the silver trench coat does have a magazine on the bottom of the grip, which means that someone paid attention enough to firearm design on Square's team to actually include that. So, unlike Final Fantasy VII, which they were still working on like polygons and didn't really know what they were doing so much on the PlayStation. At this point, they knew pretty well. So the bodies look more realistic in the pre-render, or in the in the in-game rendering graphics. How are you feeling? My forehead hurts. No kidding. Looks like your eyes are focusing. You should be fine. Say your name for me. We are Squall. Not to be confused with Cloud. Why don't you take it easy in training? Next time, you might not be so lucky. Tell that to Cypher. That Cypher won't listen to anyone. Why don't you ignore him? I can't just run away. You want to be cool, huh? Well, don't get hurt in the process. Let's see, your instructor is... Quistis. I'll call her now. Just wait here a minute. And every budding teenager... Quistis, come get your student. Yes, yes. His injuries are not serious. It'll probably leave a scar. Right. Now please come by. Squall, so we meet again. But every budding teenager had the biggest hard-on for Quistis. I don't know a single person that played this game that wasn't in love with Quistis. I knew it'd be either you or Cypher. Come on, let's go. Today's the field exam. And I think that largely has to do with the fact that Quistis is... Squall, is there something on your mind? Not only your teacher, but also an ex girlfriend of Squall. What's so funny? Funny? No, it's not that. I'm just happy. I feel like I'm beginning to understand my student a little. That's all. I'm more complex than you think. No. Oh, Squall. You're so funny. Then tell me. Tell me about yourself. They dated and she knows nothing about him. It's none of your business. Continuing on with the super awesomeness of Final Fantasies being able to do in-game graphics mixed with pre-rendered cutscenes. I mean, that was a pretty damn good transition, even for Square. Good morning, class. Let's start with today's schedule. There seems to have been some rumor flying around since yesterday. Yes, the field exam for seed candidates will begin later this afternoon. Those not participating and those who failed last week's written test are to remain here in study hall. Field exam participants will have free time until the exam. Just be sure you are in top condition. Meet in hall at 1600 hours. I'll announce the team assignments there. Any questions? Oh, and Cypher? Do not injure your partner while training. Be careful from now on. Also, those are the only two not wearing uniforms. I know that's kind of an anime thing. Kind of. I don't really get why they would allow that. Especially in this instance. Field exam participants, I will see you all later. Spoilers. Sorry. Spoilers. Seed is a military force. So every single person in this academy are child soldiers. Until they pass their exam, in which case they are just normal soldiers. I don't know about you, but I can't think of a military force in the world that, while doing their basic trainings to become the various groups within the military, allow their individuals to dress that far out of uniform. And Squall, I need to talk to you. Oh, hey, we're on auto run. That's good. You haven't been to Fire and Cover yet, have you? Nice. Welcome back, Day. You won't be able to take part in today's seat exam if you don't pass this prerequisite. I was gonna go this morning, but Cypher. Do you have a good excuse? Not really. Then let's get going. If you're not too confident yet, you can review your studies at the study panel. I'll be waiting at the front gate, so come down when you're ready. You can access the study panel from your seat. So, this is actually a really, from a game design perspective, this is a really good way of doing kind of like an optional tutorial stuff. So from here, we can actually get a lot of information. We're students. Our character is a student, so presumably there's a lot of stuff that GF registered under Squalls are Quetzalcoatl and Shiva. Trigger covers all aspects of the gameplay. This tutorial can also be accessed through the regular menu at any time during the game. Fabulous! So, this is our tutorials. Normal battle operation, explanation of various little features, the card game, test. So, unlike most Final Fantasy games where you get your money by killing monsters and picking the money off of their bodies. Let's overlook that. We get our money through an income because we have a job as a soldier. And that the amount of money that you get every, oh god, what is it, like 3-4 hours, something like that, is based on your rank. And you can raise your rank through taking these various tests. During our downtime while we're grinding, one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up a list of all the answers, and I'm just going to burn through all the tests so that we won't have any money issues. Review seed written tests, so if you need to remember something that was on one of the tests before, you can. Icons and just regular information about the game. This is all your terms, all your different abilities, what they mean, what they do. So there's a lot here. This is kind of a fairly well-designed means of an optional tutorial. It's not amazing, but in terms of the interactiveness of the tutorial, if you're not going to do like a Portal style thing where the entire game is the tutorial, that's fairly reasonable. It also gives people the option who are familiar. I'm late with either Final Fantasies or JRPGs, that they can kind of skip some of it. Are you okay? Or if they're just really familiar with this game. There. I'm fine. Sorry, I was kind of in a hurry. Oh, yeah. Hey, did you just come from that class? Is homeroom over? Oh no! This place is so much bigger than my last garden. Oh, hey! I just transferred here. Do you think you could give me a quick tour of the garden? All right, let's go. To the elevator, and then that'll take her to down to the lobby where we will show her. Oh hey, would you like to have, my brother gave me these cards, but they're really not my thing. You can have them if you like. What? How to play the card game? I think it'd be best to look at the card game explanation in the tutorial. I don't really know much about it, really. If you want to play cards with someone, talk to them by pressing B3, which in the game was actually in was square. Keep in mind, not everyone is a card player. Oh, and by the way, I don't play, so don't bother challenging me. The card game in this is kind of required. And the reason I say kind of is because it technically is not required. However, if you want to have everyone's best weapons and all the best magics and everything, you do have to play it. Because you need to get the best cards in the game, so you can then synthesize them into crafting materials that you would then use to make the best weapons. Specifically Squall's. I can't remember if everyone else's is the same way or not. That's the directory. Well, this is it. Balam Gardens is pretty big. It's a good idea to check where you want to go and select it here. I have a question. How do you use this? Move your cursor and press button 1 to select. Next, I'll give you a quick explanation on the various facilities. Yes, sir. You'll find the dormitory to the north. A majority of the students live in the dorms. There aren't too many students who commute. Yeah, I'm in the dorms too! You can rest and change in there. West of the north block is the cafeteria. There's always a big rush for hot dogs. You better get used to waiting in line. Really? Hot dogs? Alright. East of the north block is the parking lot. We usually take a garden car when the mission comes up. The front gate is located to the south. That's right, I have to go meet Instructor Trep at the front gate. What's the matter? Nothing. Next, we have the quad located to the west block. There's an event being planned there. I know, the Garden Festival! It's going to be great. I'm planning to be on the committee. You want to help out too? Let's just continue. South of the west block is the infirmary. This is where you go to get treated for injuries, but a lot of students just come here for advice. What's the doc's name? Karawaki. On the east block is the training center. It's the only facility open at night. It's used for training, and they have real monsters running loose there. If you don't take it seriously, you may end up dead. Just be careful. Okay. South of the east block is the library. There's a lot of material you can look up there, but in the terminals, the classrooms are a lot more efficient. And you already know about the classroom on the second floor, right? Yep, I remember that one. By the way, the headmaster's office is located on the third floor. You need permission to get in. Another question, what's the headmaster's name? Sid! That's about it. Anything else? Got it! Hey, are you taking today's seed exam? Yeah. Then maybe I'll see you again. Later, I really gotta finish my training at the previous garden. I'm taking the seed exam today, too. Good luck to both of us, huh? Thanks a lot. And this is what our save points look like. So, we have 2 GFs, and we need to equip one to good old... Well, we can equip all of them at the moment, but we definitely need one equipped to Squall, that's for damn sure. We don't have any magic right now to Junction. So, what we want is we want the GF ability, we want the draw ability, and we want the item ability. This is kind of a nice... So this part I don't mind. Junctioning the GFs to alter your stats a little bit and alter what abilities you have access to. That's great. I think that is fabulous. We'll go ahead and save there. Oh. Wait, I wasn't on disc 3. I finished disc 1, but... Okay, maybe I did finish disc... No? We'll pass these girls up. They want to go grab something to eat. Hey, dude. Perhaps I should go home this weekend. I really got to go visit my parents. So there are... So, this little purple thingy over here is called a draw spot. You found a draw point. Cure found. We'll draw those into Squall. Alright, so. Now. So, when we equip these spells to a stat, it typically, I mean, apparently Cure doesn't help Spirit or Magic, or we just don't have enough of it to do so. It increases those stats based on the number that you have. The problem comes in, so, those are Cure, right? The best place to Junction Cure is to your hit points, because it increases your maximum hit points. But, then if I use one of those Cures, it reduces my maximum hit points. And there, for me, is the fundamental problem of the magic junctioning system. It de-incentivizes the use of magic that are junctioned to your characters. I have a few things to explain before we head off. GF's gives us strength. The stronger the GF, the stronger we become. So there's a brief explanation of... I already took care of it. Junctioning tutorial that I cannot skip. Oh, hey, I can this time. I guess it's because I already had a save file. Everything okay up till now. We can always check back by accessing tutorial from the menu. Yep. Once we get to the fire cavern, I'll explain how to junction magic. Use the command draw during battle to stock up magic from enemies. Be sure you have some stocked. Ready to go? The fire cavern used for the test is located to the east of here. Alright, to the east of here. Why, that must be that cavern over there. Because that's the only thing to the east. So, here's our world map. It's the first time our world map is actually on a sphere. Oh shit, I have neglected to give Quistis a GF. You still remember the B6 trigger? Just pull it as you strike. So, as you're drawing magic, you can either stock up on it, or you can cast it directly from the enemy. Got 3 scans. So, that is largely what I'm going to be doing over the course of this weekend. Is spending my time drawing magic from enemies and stocking it up, because what you want, ultimately, is to have every single person have all have everything. That's what you want. That way you have the most options available to you. Uh-oh. We're in a forest. Actually, this might be bad. The most important thing for me at this juncture is to make sure that I get all of the potential magics identified. And enemies have an unlimited amount of the magic that you can draw from them. It's just how much time do you want to spend drawing from a particular enemy. That's what it comes down to. And I'm definitely gonna need to pull out one of my other controllers because I do not have a good, what do they call it, beat button 6, which is right button, right shoulder on this controller, thanks to all the Dark Souls that I played on it. Ooh. Quistis can learn Blue Magic Ultra Wave. Can she? Oh, that's right, because her... That's right, her... God, what is it? Limit Break is Blue Magic. So, we just kind of, you know, went completely the wrong way because we felt like it. We're just gonna break in people's homes, see if they have any items or draw points. Anything like that. You know, typical... that's Zell's room up there. He gets angry if anyone goes in, so I don't appreciate... I'd appreciate it if you didn't. Fine. But what if I don't like Zell? Sure. Draw that into Squall. Some... Ooh. So we need 6 endstone pieces and 2 screws in order to buy the revolver. Because we're not asking... He doesn't have it. He's just a builder. And then we need a spider web, which we have, and 2 endstone pieces in order to get her next whip. I'm the Queen of Cards. I travel all over the world and modern and enforce the various card rules. Oh, God. So, on top of playing this card game, which is mediocrely difficult, each region has its own rule set. And the card queen can go around and change the rules set whenever she feels like it from one region to another, or transfer if a particular rule she likes, she can move it. Now, later on down the game, if you have been good enough at the card game, you can tell her where you want to move certain rules to certain areas. And I think it's that weird, like, rules thing that really turned me off on that card game. I really do not like the Final Fantasy VIII card game. And yet, I love the Final Fantasy IX card... Oh, no, love is a strong word. I really enjoy the Final Fantasy VIII card game. Found an issue of Timber Tanks. You finished reading it. Also, in the world are various magazines. And they grant you additional options. It's the best way I can put it. The sea breeze sure feels good. The whole town filled with wonderful aroma of the sea, and that's why my car rusts. That sign's not looking too good either. Yeah, salt water in the air will definitely ruin a car. Ooh, I see a draw point for more cure. So, what are we looking at for magics right now? So, we have enough to get Spirit up 2? Sure. Doesn't have enough cure. She doesn't have enough cures yet to really make junctioning worthwhile for her, but we'll do it. She'll get more. She'll get a lot more. All right. Well, that is our first little town here. So, we already know that we need a few things. We need some money that we may or may not have. Chance for first strike. So we're gonna get as much magic as we can while we're here, because that is what you do. This is how you spend Final Fantasy VIII. And unfortunately, there will be a lot of time when we're doing a lot of this. Ooh, we need to mess someone up. It's a problem. Personally, I think it's just a problem with the gameplay, that this sort of thing is kind of necessary. But it's also just a problem especially for streaming, because there will be more than a few fights where I can't just abstract it and show you like, hey, here's all the things that the enemies in this area have. Oh, we got another spider web. And we got a single stone M piece. And hey, we got a little bit of AP, which got Shiva up a little bit. And this grass is really hard. Did you listen to the clack of his foot? His footsteps? Damn, man. So, Squall and Squall, as far as I am aware, Squall and only Squall has the ability to increase the power of his attacks by pulling the trigger at the right time. It sends the Gouda, it's what creates that little tiny explosion when I attack, because otherwise, like, there's the slash, but when we use the trigger, there's a little explosion. Increases our damage a little bit. It's an interesting gimmick, but I don't know if it really does anything. Ooh, we received a Bite Bugs card. And we got another M piece. get something? Okay, I'll be right here. So we're gonna go... First off, because this restocked itself, we're gonna draw some more, and then we are going to push on over to the infirmary, where we will heal up for free. How much money do we have? 5,000 gil. We'll go and get Quistis's next weapon. And then we'll go and push into what we're actually supposed to do. Oh, maybe not. It's 8:30. Which means that I've already messed up, man. But that's fine. What we're gonna do, I'll wait a few minutes rather, and then we'll do our ending a little early and get our ending announcements out of the way as well. How's your forehead doing? Are you not gonna heal me? Alright. Maybe... Ah, screw it. We're strong enough. Plus, we've got some heal. Right? So, Shiva has really good compatibility with Quistis. They both do. And they're both learning Summon Magic plus 10%, which just increases the strength of your summons by 10%. Which is not a bad passive ability to have, it's just, not particularly amazing either. You know what I mean? Alright, so now that we have all the pieces that we need for Quistis's weapon, let's go get that. And then we will... Ooh, more cure. That's convenient. Got 3 more. For the ones that repair themselves or recharge like that, each one is a little bit differently, but it depends on how many like zones you actually travel through. Is how it's set up. But yeah, this is what I'm going to be doing for the next, I don't know, couple days. So, aren't I lucky? It's not that bad initially. But what ends up happening is that, you know, you're getting near the end of disc 1. You now have, I don't know, like 6 characters, and one of the things you can do is you can whole hog exchange your whole junctioning setup from one character to another. Abilities, GFs, summons, guardian forces, whatever you want to call them, and magics, which is nice. Oh, we already have the chain whip? Do we already have the revolver then? Yes, we do. Okay. So we don't need those because we already have them. That's good. Car rental. Alright. Let's get out of here then. You're not gonna rent me a car for free. then we'll just move on. But normally what I do when I'm doing this is once I have an income, what I'll do is I'll run around for a couple of hours just grabbing all the magics in an area, assuming that I have free run. And then, you know, I'll go and do whatever the event is, or, you know, I might have to use some tents or something, or go to an inn, but since I have an income, it's not that big of a deal. Ooh, what's this guy got? Oh man, he started way ahead of us. He's got something that we don't know. And we're going to cast on you. We stole a cure from the enemy to cast on ourselves. Yay! Ooh, Blizzard. Not much, man. So, I was just explaining one of the reasons why I dislike this game so much. And that is the stocking up of magic for the purposes of junctioning, and why it disincentivizes you to actually use magic. I don't mind the draw function in and of itself. It's the actual junctioning of magic to stats, which then makes you not want to use the magic because it lowers your stats. That's the part that I don't like. The drawing your magic from enemies, I'm totally fine with that. And the junctioning of summons to make yourself stronger or have different abilities, fabulous. Great idea. That's pretty much what it comes down to. My go-to is usually to draw up full magic for everybody. What is there? 7 characters in this game? Just draw up a full set. And then if I need to cast spells, only use 1 or 2 for dire situations. Otherwise, if I need to use magic, which is more powerful in this than it would normally be in a Final Fantasy game, to try and offset the fact that you have to lower your stats a little bit. I just have it set on the default. I haven't even gone into the configurations yet. After finishing 7, I just loaded it up right away, made sure my buttons were correct, and jumped on in. But I do prefer ATB. It makes things go so much faster. Set close up for scan, yeah, that's fine. And we need to bring you down to about 50%. Message battle speed is fast. There we go. Now it's as it should be. Pow. I also brought up the fact that Quistis is, for the most part, every young 13-year-old who has no idea about sex was kind of their fantasy. I mean, not that that's really an important aspect of the game, but when she showed up, I made sure to bring it up. Also made sure to make fun of Squall as much as possible, because even for a Final Fantasy main character, he's dull. All these side characters in this have a lot more personality than Squall does, which is fine. Alright, yes, I know how to junction magic. In fact, I showed everyone how to do so. You know how to use your gunblade? Yeah, thank you. Ah, okay. I was just concerned, that's all. Wow. The concern, man, that's so very touching. To obtain a low-level Guardian Force, a Seed member must support. Are you ready? I'm ready. I'm his support. Alright, man. As soon as I'm done here, I'll probably head on over and watch while I run around in circles stealing magic. Select a time limit. Choose one suited to your ability. Challenging yet reasonable. Oh god, there is an incentive for going with the lower time frames. I don't remember what it is. We've got about 20 minutes, so we'll set it for 20 minutes. If we fail to complete it, we have a save before we came in here, so that's fine. My job is supporting you in battle, everything else is up to you. That is fine. You know, boys often, I guess, whatever. Just kidding, I'm trying to keep you relaxed is all. We are on a time frame, and you are my teacher, and you are not helping. Anything interesting on these bats? Thunder? Thunder. Thunder draw. Ho! Bam. Ooh, these bats, man. They don't stand a chance. The real question, though, is, will we stand a chance against the boss? Probably. Alright, so there must be an achievement for hitting so many draw points, because every time I take from one, we get an announce. Oh no, back attacked. Yep, you can learn a monster's weakness with Scan. Thank you, Quistis. Or I can just use Shiva. Alright. Oh, summons. So awesome, yet so time-consuming. And Shiva's one of the faster summons. Like, damn. Ooh, Quetzalcoatl and Shiva leveled up. Heck yeah. Alright, now we're starting to get some random battles. Like, some pretty serious... Uh-oh. Alright, so we're both gonna get our blizzard draw, and then we're gonna try punking this guy. Come on. Yeah, your attacks are really long, man. Good job. Man, that was a good hit. Yep. It's a stone filled with magical power. Nothing over here. So let's push forward. Gosh darn it. Well, we already have enough fire, and even if we didn't have enough fire, we can get more easily, so we are just going to kill bombs. Come on! Why do you have so many hit points? Thank you. Oh. I guess I was right. You and Cypher always gonna fight or something. Ooh, we've got a fair number of those M-stones. That's good. Okay, this is it. Are you ready? Yeah, whatever. You seem confident enough. Bam! Doesn't that big boy look so beautiful? Hey there, buddy. Ooh. Man, you are spicy. Gonna stock up on cures while we can. Pow! Some good damage. They have Shiva? Yes, we do. Alright. Let's just keep it going. It's a lot of cures. 6 cures, that's a pretty good amount when you're trying to get up to 99. Impudent humans! Oh, so good. Being able to do that while a summon is happening. Man, we're gonna get just under the radar of that 10 minutes, aren't we? Oof, that feels good. Not bad for a human. Get more of that stock on. Yeah, man, Quistis is gonna have a good, nice collection of cure. I mean, so is Squall at the end of this. I mean, not at the end of today, but actually maybe by the end of today. We'll see. Come on, Shiva. Yeah, I think if we are able to beat him under the 10 minutes, we'll be just under the limit. Come on, baby. You got him. Take him out. Ah, I underestimated Shiva. Very well. I will join you. Yeah. We did it. We didn't get any XP. We got G Returner. We got Ifrit's card. A lot of AP. That's good. There isn't much time, but let's get over this real quick. Good, you got yourself a GF. If you junction that GF, you'll get the ability to use the Element J ability. Here's an explanation on the elements. So, elemental junctioning. If we junction an elemental magic, it not only gives us it gives us status effects that allow us to do things such as add death to our weapon, or this is kind of like the added effect elemental materia situation. There's a lot of fire elemental monsters here, so junction blizzard to your elemental attack. If you'll have an easier time with the fire elemental enemies. There we go. So, first off, we will take Ifrit. And we can do no. Okay, that's telling us where to go, yeah. So, we can do... We only have a little bit of Blizzard, but 4% additional damage to these enemies. That's not bad. And we can add a fair amount to our strength. Quistis doesn't have anything else. Alright. So let's push forward then. So see, that's what I mean. Because we have the ability to do extra damage with Blizzard as an element, we don't really want to use Blizzard. So then why would we? What is the incentive? I mean, the incentive is supposed to be that magic is so powerful that you want to use it, but it's not. It's only that powerful to consider using it if, at least in my opinion, if you have the right elemental counter to the enemy. But if you have the right elemental counter to the enemy, and you have junction element, you can just you can just add it to your attack and gain a bonus to your damage. I just don't... The reward for actually using the magic, to me, does not seem worthwhile. That's what I'm getting at. That is, mechanically, that is my biggest gripe with this game, is the magic junctioning system. Now, what I would have had it do is personally, if I was designing it, what I would have done is, if you junction Cure to your HP, Cure, no matter how many cures you have, give you the same bonus. So you're not incentivized to like keep a hold of your magics. You're just incentivized to make sure you don't use it all. Aside from that, ooh, Quistis is getting pretty messed up there. Aside from that, that's where I see like the only real incentive. But that's just me. Because essentially what you want to do is you want to put your best magic that you have the most of in the slots where it's going to do the best good, right? That's kind of the point. But why would I do that? Like, why would I put fire there if I have access to fire and Firaga? Why would I use Firaga there? Because if I'm going to actually use the spell, I want ooh, red back card. I want the best version to use. If I'm actually gonna like use magic. If I'm not gonna use magic, like if I'm not gonna prioritize using magic, instead what I would do is equip, and this is typically the way I do it, is I would junction my most powerful and use my least. So, Quistis has... So, actually, no. The way limits work in this game is they're not really limits. When you randomly, like if I just hit Y cycling through the characters as quickly as possible, I could randomly get their ability, whatever it is. Like Quistis, it's blue magic. Squall, it's a really powerful attack. So, that is the way that works. Like, I could just get I could just... until it unlocks it. You're more likely to get it if you... if you're in the yellow, or if you have the aura status effect, which essentially puts you into that critical phase. Oh, actually, so here's what's gonna happen. We are almost at 9 o'clock. So I'm gonna finish up this battle, we're gonna save. And then I'm gonna go ahead and sign off. Alright, so I would like to start off by thanking everyone that stopped by and took a look at the channel. I want to thank in particular Gracker, Grim Reaper, Desuya, Game Talks Live, and Wicked Gamer Dude for participating in chat. I also want to go over my announcements one last time, if you'll bear with me. We are only 4 followers away from reaching our next goal of 25. Once we have 25 followers, we'll have our next... it is a little bit. Once we have our goal of 25, we will have our next 24-hour stream. So if you happen to know anyone that might be interested in what we're doing here with the Final Fantasy franchise, going through it all, or any of the future franchises we're doing, Doom, GTA, Elder Scrolls, Civilization, feel free to send them a link or word of mouth, let them know, bring them on over. I'll try and convince them to stay. This community is as big as you guys are willing to let it be, so the bigger we can get it, the more people we have participating, the more awesome it'll be. Also, if you are not already, please feel free to subscribe to or follow me on Twitter, rather, because if I have any updates that I need to make to the channel, if I need to make any cancellations or change the schedule or let you know about special events, I'm going to do so over Twitter. As well as if you want to keep in touch with me in terms of just asking me questions, that's the best way to do so. Again, I want to thank you for joining me on our journey through Final Fantasy VII, which we completed, as well as starting Final Fantasy VIII. I hope to see you tomorrow at 7 when we continue on our way in Final Fantasy VII. Or sorry, in Final Fantasy VIII. And I hope you guys have a wonderful night. Good night.